Greetings, salutations, everyone. Welcome to Duke and Leon School of Life. I've got Leon the Lymph Node with me.
Lymph Node. All right, I'm going to start off with some news because this is one of my. I've talked about this so many times, not just on the pod, but just generally, right? So, this young girl kills her sugar daddy, right? Okay, it happens all the time, right? Okay. Yeah. But this sugar daddy idiot, which I tell everyone, even my lawyer, I told him, don't ever you get your you know how instead of signing, you've got fingerprint identification, right?
Yeah.
I said, don't do that. I'm like, oh, well, it's just so simple. All I have to do is put my thumb again. I said, don't do it. All right, trust me. You're just asking for trouble. So anyway, this chick, young girl, she's in her 20s. Sugar daddy's, well, he was 60-something. She kills him, and either before or after she kills him, she cuts his thumb off, grabs his bank card, and off she goes to the ATM or whatever it is, and she's just using the thumb because it's still got the fingerprint on it, right? I said, I've always said that. How fucked up is that? Don't ever have fingerprint identification for anything. You can use facial recognition, right?
No, but then they just cut off your face.
No, because remember that woman went to the bank with the dead guy with the sunglasses and she failed miserably.
Yeah, that's right.
So it doesn't work, obviously. When you're dead, you can't just haul in and why is it? Because it's rigor mortis. But if you just got a thumb, you could even just do it like you
on the phone.
No,
you can do it because the phone has thumb recognition.
Yeah,
I use that all the time.
Yeah,
and then
right.
you get in there, and then you can transfer funds and do all sorts of shit.
Man, you can do anything. And you know what? Too, if you, because I was practicing this, if you bend down your thumb. And then you put the other thumb on the end of your thumb and you just put like a bandage around it to cover the join. It looks like your real hand, except it's blue, obviously. But it looks like a real. You could just get away with it. Say, yeah, that's my thumb. Yeah, no worries. You know, I've got a bit of arthritis, so I've got to hold it with my other hand.
I've got a swollen lymph node in my thumb.
It's like, man, I said, if you use fingerprint ID for any device, you're asking for trouble, especially if you've got a young floozy, because they're just thinking. It's just the wheels are thinking. You can hear the wheels moving inside their head.
All right, anyway. Are we finished with this shit?
Yeah. I just wanted to start with that because that's my passion. I'm passionate about that.
That's your warning. That's your warning to our listeners because I think a lot of our listeners are approaching sugar daddy age.
Or are looking for a sugar daddy because we have a lot of young
we have a lot of young female listeners.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I am 100% in favour of the sugar daddy situation because why the fuck would you work? Work smart, not hard.
Well, if there's any young female listeners listening that want a sugar daddy,
yeah,
I'll give them my thumb. Like I'll have it surgically removed. They can have it in their pocket. They can go to the bank, do whatever shit they want.
That doesn't make any sense, Duke. So one, you don't have any money, and two, you've lost your thumb. What's the fucking point? And you don't get all the benefits of being a sugar daddy.
No, yes, you do.
Oh,
you don't give it for free. I'm not giving it away, buddy. I'm not giving it away. So I went into my local bakery, right? And I said, I want half a dozen white rolls.
Oh, that's racist.
Well, that's what she said. Well, she didn't say it was racist. She said, we don't call them white rolls anymore.
No.
We call them plain rolls.
Oh, she did not say that.
Yeah, that's what she said.
You're not serious.
That's what she said. And I said, well...
What's an unplain roll?
Well, I said, That's
racist.
That's more offensive.
Yeah, that's more.
I said if I went out there and a girl was walking down the street and I said, "Oh, she's white," and then would she be more offended, or if I said, "Oh, you're plain"? What would you be more offended if someone called you white or someone called you plain? And then she said to me,
I don't know. Plain
she said
white.
to me, do you want the rolls or not?
Or not.
Or are you on your high horse? Do you want the rolls or not? And I said, well, yeah, I fucking just bought half a kilo of roast beef. Of course I want the rolls.
Hey, so how old was this woman? Was this a girl? Or
She was young, yeah.
Oh, she was young.
She was
so
young.
That's. Do you want the rolls or not? That's something like an old librarian would say.
Yeah.
You know, do you want that dictionary or not? You know,
Yeah.
just because it's got vagina in it, you little cunt. Oh fuck, I'm lost now. All right. Do you know this woman? Have you ever heard of this woman, Megan Trainor?
No.
I don't know. She's supposed to be famous. I don't know. Anyway, she's apparently rich and her husband's rich too. I think she's a singer or something like that, right? So she buys this mansion. $17 million she pays for this mansion. And she says on this interview that she has to change the bathroom because she wants two toilets that face each other. So my husband and I can be knee to knee when we go
Knee
to
to
toilet.
knee.
Knee to knee when we go to toilet. And then, do you know what, Ju? You know what the interesting thing was? She was surprised because people were a little bit, not offended, they were a little bit confused. Maybe that's the right word, confused as to what the fuck that was supposed to mean. What the fuck
Can you
is that?
imagine being knee to knee with your partner or anyone being knee to knee while you're both taking a shit?
Well-
what the hell is that?
Well, this is the thing, right? Then she counters it later on, the next day probably when she's read all the fucking comments. She goes, "Oh, I didn't mean number twos. I mean only when we pee."
Oh, so he's going to sit down.
And he says, she says to him, "Don't do number twos when we're doing it like this." Only, I mean, what the fuck? She's talking to him like he's a 3-year-old.
Well, I mean, he's going to be
Anyway.
sitting down. Oh, you have to sit down
Yeah.
and pee.
Oh, that's right. I never thought of that. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you have
So
to
that's
sit down
bullshit.
like
That's
me
bullshit.
and pee.
It's bullshit.
What
It's
man does
number
that?
twos. She wants her knees pressing against his. It's like the letters we get. She wants her knees pressing against his knees while they're both taking a shit.
Jesus.
It should be. It's a letter from one of our readers. That's what that is.
What if anyone was like us and had the amount of medical experience that we've had? Wouldn't that just be the biggest red flag? Like you just go,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to write down a prescription, 14 Valium tablets per day.
Fucking
Fuck,
hell.
dead.
That's
But anyway, she goes, so after she said the pee thing and she thought she would hose it down, excuse the pun, it got worse. The comments got worse. So then she got the shits, literally, and she goes, "Sorry, you don't know what love is." That's what her comment was. You don't know what
so yeah,
love
it's true love.
is.
Shitting together with your knees pressed together.
You don't know what true love is. Well, Missy, whatever your name is, if that's what true love is, I'm glad that I don't know.
Fuck
Jesus.
yeah.
There's enough shit in the world without actually watching your husband or wife do it in front of you.
Presenting New Inventions with Duke and Leon.
What's
I
your
got a new one.
invention?
Well, it's not really a new invention. It's a new idea for a business, right? So,
What happened to the old ideas for the business?
well, you weren't 100% into it, so they failed.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was driving past the bus stop the other day, and I know, and some people were running for the bus and they missed the bus, right?
Yeah. I saw someone do that the other day. She was waving her umbrella at the bus driver.
Yeah.
Just
And the bus
fucking-
driver-
He actually sped up.
Oh, fuck you. So I saw these people missing the bus, and I thought, what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to buy a jetpack and I'm going to hang around the bus stops. And anytime someone misses one, I'll say,
Yeah.
because there's not enough fuel in the jetpack to take them to work, but there is to fly them like 3 bus stops ahead, so they can catch it.
Yeah, that's
and
good thinking.
and I'll just say, do you want me to get you to the bus? And $2.
$2.
$2.
Is that it?
That's
Two.
it. You got to make it cheap.
Jesus, $2. How much?
$2.
How much?
So you
fuel?
just grab them.
Yeah.
You just grab them, and you got to have like a little thing to make it really impressive. So, like in a robotic voice, it goes jetpack on 5, 4, 3, and then it just goes, and then you go 3 bus stops ahead. You land. You go, there you are. Have a nice day. $2, please.
Would you have a weight limit? Like if someone was like 130 kilos.
Yeah.
130 kilos and had food stains all down the front, and they had like a hot dog in one hand and
that's $5.
Really old flip phone in the other hand. What you could just say $5 because excess
$5,
baggage.
yeah.
Excess baggage.
So what do you reckon? Jetpack.
You know what I think? I think you should start it and give me a ring in 3 months, and I'll be 100% on board.
Well, what's how much is jetpack fuel?
About $400 a minute, I think.
Oh shit! So I'm gonna have to charge more than $2.
Maybe. Yeah. And I'd make it women only.
Yeah,
And
women only.
You'd say for the safety of women in transport, making sure that they don't get, nothing happens.
Oh, what you do is if there's a woman,
And then there's a special thing that you have to. There's a brace position that you have to adopt. This is for safety. This is not
where their legs are wrapped around you.
Because if you're going to lose money, you may as well have fun, right?
What you do is if there's a girl in a short skirt, you say to all the men around, $2 if you want to look up a skirt. If not, I'm going to take her around the corner and do it, and you won't see anything.
Okay. All right. Well, probably I wouldn't sort of bring that feature in until you're well into the.
And then you film it, and it goes on OnlyFans. Jetpack upskirts. That's a new trend.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
All right. Wow. It's amazing what a brainstorming can do. Just turn something.
Or what a brain can do.
That's right. All right. I've got a letter. I've got 2 letters. This is my first letter. All right. So I'm going to read it out. Is that all right, Duke? Or are you still thinking about the jetpack?
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking jetpack upskirts.
Jetpack upskirts.
Oh, I mean, if you saw an ad while you're perusing YouTube or whatever for jetpack upskirts, wouldn't you just go on just to have a look?
100%.
100%.
I wouldn't even look. I'd subscribe, pay the dues, whatever. Straight away, without even looking.
Unseen.
Sight unseen. In fact, I would also go to GoFundMe and throw in $1,000 straight away.
Jetpack upskirts.
Can't fail.
Look out for it.
Look, you got girly legs, you got knickers, you got Lost in Space, you got jet space, you got everything.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make it better is if you could, while you were flying, you could make a hot dog or something. Just introduce some in-flight service.
Well, she can do that.
A beer and a hot dog. Oh, God.
Wow.
I don't know what the fuck. Why are we wasting our time? Why are we wasting our time doing this stupid podcast? We should be making money.
Someone's going to rip this off. You watch. Someone's going to rip this off.
By the time we...
Elon Musk.
He's already done it.
Elon Musk.
He's already done it. I can hear the phone ringing. I can hear the phone ringing to my neighbour who does jetpacks.
Yeah, fuck Elon Musk. Elon.
He's just ordered 10,000 jetpacks. Cunt. All right.
Presenting New Inventions with Duke and Leon.
All right, dear Mr. Fish and Mr. Henricks. I'm a great fan of your show and listen every second week. I have a slight problem and was hoping you could help me. I am 27 and a third-year law student. Wow, smart. I recently moved in with my boyfriend who has a large blue and yellow bird, which I think is a macaw. Macaw? Is that how M-A-C-A?
Macaw!
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. When my boyfriend is not at home and I walk past the bird, it yells out, "Hey, cunt!" What should I do? Can you help? Yours, name withheld. Whoa. I reckon that happens a lot. What
should I do? I mean, that's awesome. Why would you want to do something about that?
Oh, well,
I'd love it if I had a bird that I was walking around and it was like, you can't.
to you, only
Yeah.
to you, just to
Yeah.
you. Everyone
Well-
else that goes, hello, and
Yeah.
to you, hey, gun.
That'd be awesome. That's great.
Really? Why?
I'd have it on the jetpack. So when we're flying around, it's going, hey, gun.
No, but the bird only says it to one person and only when no one else is there. So it's obviously like, you know, it's a jealousy thing, right?
Does it even know what cunt means?
It's a parrot.
Oh, yeah, it does because it's a Macau. Anyway,
So I'm thinking, well, to be honest, my first reaction was, you know, I don't care. I love it. KFC. That's what I thought. KFC. Just fucking kill it and
can
cook
we have
it.
one episode without mentioning KFC? They're not paying us, you know.
Oh, I went there just before the podcast. I went there for lunch. Once a month, I go there for lunch, right? And I walk in, and there's like 10 people. They're all waiting for their fucking food, and there's two 12-year-olds in the kitchen. I fucking walked out. Fuck that. Anyway, I thought, yeah, I'd just kill it and put some potatoes and carrots around it and serve it fucking dinner. But we don't condone violence in this podcast. We're against any sort of violent behaviour, especially in the home. So I went to the book of animal behaviour. And it's very interesting because under Parrot, who calls you a cunt, although it's not specifically says that, but it's very close. Swearing parrot. It says, get a spray, one of those little hand spray containers, like you know what you do, like for, those la-di-das who watered their plants instead of using
People spray their dogs with them when they're doing stupid shit.
Yeah. So it says, unlike dogs, parrots, if you spray a parrot with water, with one of those spray things, it'll just fucking laugh at you. So the best thing to use is female urine, it says here.
Ah.
And
Smart.
so all you have to do is figure out how to pee. I don't know. I don't know how. If do you think a woman could pee into one of those bottles, or she would have to decanter and then pour it in? Anyway, so if she was doing that,
she'd have to prance.
yeah, and So anyway, it just says whenever you walk past the parrot, just spray it in the face. It says, hey, cunt, hey, cunt. And he said by the third time, it won't even fucking talk to you.
Bullshit. By the third time, it'll be going, you can't! With its eyes stinging. Fucking can't! From the FBI files. Discovery of ancient Amazon women tribe.
Yeah.
Date, March the 10th, 2023. Location, deep within the Amazon rainforest in Brazil.
What's left of it? Yep.
A team of anthropologists and explorers has made contact with a previously unknown tribe of women self-identified as the guardians of the forest. That's what they call themselves.
Of the forest.
Even
though it's a jungle, they refer to it as a forest. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Each of the women is 6 foot tall. Observations suggest a highly organized and thriving society with evidence of advanced knowledge in botany, astronomy, and martial arts.
Botany, astronomy, and martial arts.
They're things that don't usually team up.
Yeah.
Key findings. The tribe consists of approximately 200 women ranging in age from 20 to 30. They possess a unique language which has been identified as a dialect of the ancient Tupi language. I'll just get to, as it goes on and on, I'll just get to the thing.
Yeah.
Discovered were 200 male sex slaves.
Sex slaves. I was about to say, yeah.
When the males were asked if they would like to return home to their wives and family, they all yelled a resounding no.
No. Okay.
All right.
So what anyway, all right. So
6 foot, 20 to 30.
20. So what happens after 35?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Or they become librarians and work in the government. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
All it says that the tribe's isolation leads to potential vulnerability to external threats.
Fuck.
So they probably, once they get to a certain age, as soon as you hit 30, they probably banish them and they get eaten by a tiger or something.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I think that's do you think the tribe still exists or not?
Yeah, well, this was discovered in 2023.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we should just book. Why don't we have an expedition?
Yes.
And we'll go there and we'll just discover what the exact situation is, and then we'll report back. How about that?
Yeah, you know what we can do? We can, once we get there, we can hover over the tribes with our jetpacks and just suzz it out. Just fly by with the jetpacks a couple of times. Maybe we can swoop in and like
take photos.
We'll grab one of them or two of them. Although they're good at martial arts, so they'll probably beat the shit out of us in the air, strap the jetpack onto themselves, and we just fall into the monkeys. From the FBI files.
All right. Okay, I've got another letter. Can I do another letter?
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Fish and Mr. Hendricks, I'm a great fan of your show and listen every second week. I have a slight problem and was hoping you might be able to help. I'm a 27-year-old. God, another one. I am a 27-year-old accountant who lives in a townhouse I own. Oh,
we have a lot of professional people listening.
He already sounds boring, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I have been married to my wife, Madison. Oh, fuck. For 2 years. My mother, Marguerite. Oh, God, it gets worse. Said Madison.
See?
What?
The pizza felt like a margarita. And you're reading my mind. Go on.
My mother, Marguerite, said Madison would be a perfect match. Fucking hell, listen to this guy, right? Recently, a work colleague made me aware of my wife's OnlyFans site where she does things I have never seen her do before. And she does it for money. What should I do?
Work colleague.
What should I do? Can you help? Yours, name withheld. Fuck. Have you ever heard of a man who needs to get a life?
Fucking details, man. We need more details.
What do you mean? He's an accountant. He lives in a townhouse. He's married to a woman called Madison.
We need details about what she does. He says she does things I've never seen.
Yeah.
Well, what is that? What's he doing? Like,
no, I get what you mean. Like, there's a difference between...
Is he Jewish and she's cooking bacon?
All right. I see where you're coming from because, like, things he's never seen and things we've never seen are completely different.
Totally fucking different things.
That's right. Like, you see a woman shit in a cup and then write her name on her breasts. Well, like, yesterday, hello. That's right. So I'm guessing. So you're right. You're right. Maybe it would be nice to get some details. And I mean, since we're doing this for free, for fuck's sake, we need to get something out of it. So at least he could have sent photos or given a list of things or a price list. But let's just assume that it's quite grotesque. All right, just for argument's sake and for our own, to make it more palatable. So the things are quite horrific.
Yeah,
I'm talking feces.
What you said, writing a name on a breast in feces. That's we can't get worse than that, can we?
But
we can, but let's just go with that.
But when you do OnlyFans, don't you reverse the camera so you can see yourself in the camera to get your best shot? So it's reversed.
Not when I do it.
But then wouldn't she have to write her name? She'd have to write her name back to front. Or whatever, because it's a mirror image. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty smart if she does that.
What's her name? Madison. Fuck, that's a
big boobies,
big ass.
Big breasts.
Maddie. She just writes Maddie.
Oh, Maddie, of course, Maddie. Or maybe she just changes. No, she'd change her name for OnlyFans.
Oh yeah,
it'd be
a short name.
Short name like Sky.
Yeah.
or Moon?
Sky, no, 3 letters. Hey, why are we talking about a name? Anyway.
Sky's 4 letters. SKYE. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Why are we fucking wasting time on it? All right, so what was the point anyway? He's upset about
That's what she's doing. He's upset. She's writing her name in shit.
No, but his workmate points it out. That's what really. I mean, if it was just
So how
a
did his
domestic
work?
thing.
Well,
What do you mean? How does his workmate?
well, how did he discover it?
Well, because he's looking through OnlyFans. He goes, "Fuck me, that's Kenny's wife, Madison." Fuck me, that's Madison.
Sky, that's Kenny's wife, except she's called herself Sky.
Sky, that's right.
With an
Kenny.
E.
With an E. Kenny, fuck. And then so what would you do if you were in you're an accountant, right? Just imagine you're an accountant, you're in an office with 40 other accountants, right? And you're in that hot desk.
I'd say, man, it depends how friendly I was, if I liked him or not.
Yeah,
if
well,
I
that's
didn't
what I'm
like
saying.
him,
Oh,
if
right.
I didn't like him, I'd be fucking, showing everyone else but him.
By the coffee machine. All right. So what are we going to do? What are we going to say to Kenny?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it?
Nah. Fuck it. It's only shit. It's only tits.
All
Look,
right.
speaking of OnlyFans,
Yeah.
right? This OnlyFans girl, this could be Kenny's wife. This OnlyFans girl sells test tubes of her feces.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this woman can smell shit in her house, right? And she's looking for it everywhere.
Yeah.
And she finds this box of test tubes.
Empty?
No, full
right.
test
Yeah,
tubes
yeah,
in her
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And she confronts the husband because there's like notes, to Barry with love. You know how they write shit like that?
Yeah.
So there's notes. He comes home. She confronts him. He stands there looking shocked.
Yeah.
He runs to where the test tubes are,
Yeah.
has a sigh of relief that they're still there, grabs the box, puts them in his car, takes off, and is never seen again.
That's true
Now-
love. That's love. That's love.
That's true love. Yeah.
That's true love.
Now, going on with the same OnlyFans girl,
Yeah.
this other guy who's her super fan or whatever is getting test tubes of her
Platinum member.
shit. Platinum member.
Yeah.
He's rubbing the shit on himself, right? That's what he does. That's his thing. He notices in the next batch that the shit smells different.
Uh-oh.
It's not her shit. He's a shit expert.
Uh-oh. Fraud.
He calls the fraud squad, or not the fraud squad,
No,
but
not the fraud- no.
the business, whoever it is.
Yeah.
They discover
Yeah.
that she's got all these homeless men working for her, shitting in test tubes.
Homeless men.
Yeah, who are doing it for like $2 or whatever.
Homeless men.
Shitting in the test tubes, and she's selling it as her own shit. So he's been
That's
rubbing.
disturbing.
He's been rubbing homeless men's shit, paying to have homeless men's shit.
That's very
rubbed all over
disturbing.
him.
Look, we don't usually have disturbing material on this podcast, but that is actually quite confronting.
Yeah,
That's a fraud. That's fraud.
that's fraud.
That's fraud. It's not
Get your
even.
lawyer.
Not even. Yeah. I think it's. I think it's fraud, and I think she should go to jail. Sleeping tourist. He's in Cambodia. He's sleeping. He wakes up, and there's a monkey on the bed playing with his penis.
Gives him a blowjob.
Does it give him a blowjob? Does it?
Gives him a blowjob.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
read that far. Really?
Yeah. Gets his dick out while he's drunk and asleep.
Oh,
Starts playing with it, then starts putting it in its mouth like it's a banana. Probably thinks it's, I don't know what it's thinking.
Jesus. See, that's. I think he's just using being drunk as an excuse. I don't think he was drunk at all.
He gets
This
a
should be a
blowjob
man.
from-
This should be a man court, I think.
No, we've got a man court.
Oh,
but,
have we? All right, okay.
but at the end it said he had to leave the country in disgrace. His friends were at the airport laughing while he was boarding the plane home.
And he thought he was safe until he saw the internet. There was a photo of him on the internet.
Yeah, from his mate.
So his mates. Well, why? How would they know though? Oh, because he ran out screaming and told them.
No, but they've got a photo of him lying in bed with the monkey.
Oh, they busted him.
They probably saw the monkey go in or something, or heard a noise or something, and said, "What's going on here?" Hey, look.
And they took the photo. So that photo that you see is taken by his mates.
Yeah,
and he's still out of it. And the monkey looks over and like winks and bang.
Man Court is now in session with judges Duke and Leon.
I got a man court. So this guy is on the beach and he's talking to this girl. They're lying down, they're lying together, and they're flirting and cuddly. And all of a sudden, this pregnant woman who's due in 2 weeks comes down and goes, "That's my husband. Oh. What are you doing with my husband?" And she's going, "He's not your husband. He was at my place all day today." Like that's, and
oh, okay. Does that mean? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, is he a man?
Well, I've seen video evidence of this, and obviously it's probably pretty confronting for a lot of people. But what I noticed that was interesting, she rocks up with the dog. So it must be the family dog.
Right.
And the family dog just goes straight up to the girl, looks at her, shakes her head, and then just walks off in disgust. And I think, personally, the judgment was already made. The judgment was already made by the dog, and I'm going with the dog. What the fuck was he thinking?
So he's not a man. Look.
I don't think, do you think he's a man?
No.
Oh, you think he's a man?
No, I don't think he's not a man.
No.
Because a real man, right? A real man, if your wife was giving birth in 2 weeks, a real man would be at home on the floor, rocking back and forth, crying, going, "What have I fucking done? What have I fucking done?" That's what a real man would be doing.
Man Court is now in session with judges Duke and Leon.
Old tales from the Serbian village.
Tales from the Serbian village. Okay, so there was just before the war, there was a Serbian village in the middle of Serbia, rural Serbia. Peasant, rural.
Peasant, yeah.
And there was a guy called Vladimir who, I mean, now you wouldn't say it, but in those days it was commonplace to pick someone who was pretty much dubbed the village idiot.
Yeah.
But Vladimir...
I think I'm descended from village idiot.
Vladimir was not just the village idiot. He was a peeping Tom, what we would call a peeping Tom. And the funny thing was everyone knew about it, but no one said anything. Everyone knew about it, but no one said anything. But the women used to talk about it. "Oh, Svetlana, did you know that Vladimir the idiot is a bit of a peeping Tom?" Yes, I did, Blaga, I did. I did know. But you know what? He was at my house the other day and I was putting my moisturizer on my boobies and he was looking through the window at my boobies and I was massaging and, I love it. Svetlana, what are you saying? Well, Blaga, I used to have the best boobies in the village, and the men from the mountains would come. Hours they would spend just to see my boobies. Those were the good old days, and I like the Peeping Tom. Anyway, so Vladimir it was all good, and everything was fine until
For
Vladimir.
people that never said anything about it, that was sure, you know.
Vladimir was fine until he was caught by the mayor, peeping, tomming, whatever,
with the red-headed children.
perving at the mayor's daughter, who was picking apples from the orchard in her school dress. And that was it. All hell broke loose. They tied him down, shaved all his hair off, painted a big blue circle on his forehead, and threw him out of the village, never to be seen again. That's the story.
That's the story of Vladimir, the Peeping Tom.
The Peeping Tom. Okay.
It sounds like a song, doesn't it? It sounds like a Benny Hill song. Vladimir, the Peeping Tom. But going on that, what you said, I remember when I went to the old country when I was a kid to see my granddad. They took me to, we're going to visit your granddad. Anyway, there was lots of peasant women that were washing their boobies in the sink. You'd walk past in the kitchen. You'd walk past, you'd look in the kitchen, they're just washing these big tits in the sink, the kitchen sink.
Yeah, but you know what? It's bad because if they're short and their tits are really big, they actually touch the bottom of the sink.
Remember when during lockdown and during COVID, everyone was saying that COVID was being spread by Wi-Fi?
Or G5, wasn't it?
Or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
It was Wi-Fi and G5,
right, Yeah.
So I just came up with a brilliant idea, which I used the other day. I said to my partner that I got herpes from Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi is spreading herpes. And she bought it.
She bought it.
Yeah, she bought it because, she's from the old country.
Well, it's not about the truth. It's about reducing suffering, right?
That's right.
That's what our role in life is, to reduce suffering. So it doesn't matter about truth, whatever, science. If you reduce suffering, you've done your job.
That's right.
Good.
And the cream I've got really reduces suffering.
Yeah, but I think her suffering, because the confusion and the mistrust or whatever like that would have been would have been horrible. So you've just reduced her suffering because now she's
Tenfold.
confident. She's confident that Wi-Fi is the cause
of my herpes.
Herpes. This woman who's a cheapskate, right? She was on this TV show, the world's biggest cheapskate or whatever. I don't fucking know.
World's biggest cheapskate.
No, it was.
Is
anyway,
that a show?
It's a show, yeah.
I'm
And
going to watch that.
so she's saving money, apart from doing other things which are quite, normal, like picking up rubbish on the side of the road and all that sort of shit. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But to save money, she feeds her toddler breast milk that she gets from friends and colleagues, and she gets them to put the milk into the decanter or whatever into the thing, and then and she's got a fridge, like a freezer full of frozen milk, right? That she feeds her toddler, and she reckons she saves about $1,500 US a year on not buying formula. And what do you think her name? Oh, you probably won't. You'll never get this. You know what her name is? Her first name?
What?
Apple. Seriously.
Apple?
I swear to God, Apple. That's her first name. So this lady called Apple something. I don't know what her second name is. That's what
you know what Apple is in Japanese?
No.
Ringo.
Right.
That's the word. That's the word for
Ringo.
Apple in Japanese.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right.
So
So I'm just
can't Ringo produce her own?
I don't know. I didn't read any further. I'll say, look, I just think it's okay. I get that it's good to save money, right?
Yeah.
But like, would if you had a baby, would you get? And she's talking like 20 random colleagues and friends, right?
Yeah.
Would you? You just wouldn't do it, would you? Like, wouldn't you?
I'd get as much breast milk as possible. I wouldn't give it to the baby, but
Oh, right. Well, and she reckons that there's one particular friend of hers that her baby really likes the milk.
Yeah.
So I just think it's fucked up. It's
There's
totally
always the
fucked
one.
up. I mean,
Always the one.
I wouldn't trust 99% of the people I know. I wouldn't even trust to drive me. Right? I wouldn't get into a car with them driving. Right? Let alone feeding milk to a prodigy of mine. I mean, it's just fucking doesn't make sense. Like who the
Progeny.
Prodigy?
Yeah,
Prodigy.
you're not going to have any prodigies.
Prodigy. Did I say prodigy? Yeah. I'm the prodigy. What are you talking about?
Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now.
Why did humans? This is from Joe, by the way.
Is that a woman?
No, Joe. Joe.
It's supposed to be women only. Didn't you
in
write?
Italy.
Joe in Italy.
Why did humans kill all the Neanderthals?
Clean slate. Clean slate. We needed all the room, and
Lebensbrau.
Humans are not generally good sharers. I think that you can see that in the jungles in Brazil, where it's like, well, you know what, we need the space, chop down all the trees. So we don't share very well. So it was a clean slate, basically, And
I also think that Neanderthals were probably a bit annoying as well, because they would have been like, trailer park cousins type thing. So they would have always been coming up saying, going, hey, Ugg, can I get some bananas off you? I'm a bit short this week.
Right.
And spreading diseases and all that.
I thought this was about me. All right.
Oh, yeah. I'm just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was also led by the female humans, right? Because female humans, like the male human, say, hey, Maureen, how about a little bit of a leg up? You know what, Joseph? I'm just too tired. I have to work tomorrow. Elsa, I'm too tired. I have to work because you don't have a job. I have to work, right? And then Joe, the human, would go, all right. And then he'd say, oh, you know what? Some of those Neanderthal chicks don't look so bad now. And then his wife would go, oh, hold on a minute. I see what's happening here. If I say no, he's just going to go over to the trailer park. And then so they said in the council meeting, they've all got to go. And, of course, the male humans are too stupid to realise what was going on. And that was it. That's how it happened.
Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now. Ask Leon now.
We thank you so much.
It's time to say goodbye.
So we thank you all for listening, for supporting our
Did she ever,
podcast.
in play school,
Yeah.
did she ever say your name? She never said my name.
Yeah, she said once. I walked
said
past
Leon.
and she said, "Hey, cunt," and I said, "Hey, what are you, a fucking parrot?"
No, that was her bird, yeah.
I said, "What are you, a fucking parrot?" It's a
Spray it
macaw,
when you
actually.
piss, you
Leon, it's a
fucking
macaw. It's a macaw. God, when you don't have any female piss on you, what the fuck? I had it yesterday. I had heaps. Now I got none, and now I need it. All right.
All right,
Bye-bye.
everyone. We'll
Thank
see you around. If you
Yes.
look up in the sky and you see a couple of jetpacks flying around, you know it's Duke and Leon.
Yeah, and if you're good looking and not fat, it's $2. Okay.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.